Today I've got a brand new modification for the Massey Ferguson 1525, and this is something which I actually mentioned in one of my previous farming simulator videos, and I finally got one. It is a hydraulic top link, something which you probably wouldn't even expect to see on a compact tractor, but it's amazing, especially with the topper, how useful it is actually going to be, because the number of times I've actually wanted to adjust the angle of the topper is fairly high. Now, this is actually essentially just a hydraulic ram, but of course it's got the category 1 fixings on each end, which is what this tractor is. You can get adapters as well for category 2. I believe this decal is actually to put on the ram so you can see how far out it is from the seat, but I'm not too sure. And of course we've got the hardware bag, which is just the fittings to actually put it all together. A manual which I believe is actually not necessarily for the correct top link, I'm not too sure. And we've got 2 hoses. These 2 hoses are not the same. One of them is a standard fitting, and the other one, which you can see here, is more of a ring fitting, which is designed for a banjo bolt, which runs through the middle. The first step is to remove the plugs, which are basically protecting everything, all the threads and the internals, from when it was painted and from dirt from when it was in transit. As you can see, it's nice and clean, and I've just actually cleaned it out, so it's now ready to be assembled from here. There are a few pieces of information on it. It just says manufactured 2018, so it is brand new, 8 kilograms, and a few other model numbers as well. So this is the banjo bolt, and with this banjo bolt you have 2 copper washers, 2 copper sealing washers, which you put either side so that you can obviously have a leak-free system and to stop dirt from getting in as well. I did notice the instructions aren't exactly helpful, but not many instructions are. It's good that it is included because there are a few things in there which have helped. For example, the actual illustration of the top link. But otherwise, I think most of it is just health and safety. And of course, it's a pretty big manual purely because it's got many different languages in it as well. Next, we've got the other fitting, which goes into the right-hand side. And then the standard fitting hose goes onto there. So it's actually a very simple system to put together. One thing I notice in this video is I don't actually use any spanners on screen. I tend to do that off screen because it allows me to fully check and tighten everything properly, whereas if I'm trying to do it in the video, it's a bit rushed, so everything is checked correctly before use. And this is what it looks like after it's all been tightened up correctly, and I would say, looking at it, it's going to be a very reliable system hopefully, and I'm also fairly confident it's all put together correctly. So this time what we need to do is we need to put the dust caps, or the protector caps, over the ends of each hose, because at this stage you can't actually do this afterwards as they are sort of trapped in there. Well, I suppose you probably could do it, but it might be a bit of a struggle to put them on. It's certainly a struggle to get them off again. But once these dust caps are on, what we're going to do is we're going to put the fittings on the end, the hydraulic fittings, so that you can then fit it to the back of the tractor. This is the end that goes to the tractor's hydraulics, and of course the other end was for the top link itself. So again, we've got some copper sealing washers here, and then the fittings. It was at this stage I noticed there was some kind of residue inside the threads. I don't think it was anything too serious, but I just cleaned it out and then put it together again. Now these do actually require some fairly big spanners. In this case I'm using 28s and 27mm spanners, which I recently bought because I did realise that a lot of different parts on the compact tractor still require spanners up to size 32mm, which is quite impressive really. Right, it's now ready to be fitted, so let's carry it around. It is surprisingly heavy, especially considering it's just a top link. The thing I'm most concerned about is there's no top link holder, and also of course, some implements don't require such a long top link. The reason why this one is so long is because the topper sits quite a long way back, whereas a finishing mower sits much closer. But I'm still hoping that in its fully retracted position, it's going to be short enough. This is, as far as I'm aware, the longest hydraulic top link available for compact tractors. All that's left to do now is to plug them into the ports. As you can see, we have 2, A and B. B is on the right and A is on the left. There's also C and D below if I need to run anything else off the hydraulics. At this stage I only have one actual concern, and that is the length of the hoses, because due to the length of them they are sticking out quite a bit, but I'm hoping to actually route them around the back and they should be alright, but we'll see. Well, that worked very well. All that's left to do now is to try and move these hoses. Hopefully I can get them around the back, and I'll show you in a second what I managed to do with them. It's by no means perfect. I can always get some shorter hoses, but I think this is actually alright because the top link can now travel to its full height, and of course it can move left to right as well, and the hoses aren't really in the way. Also, when the link arms go up, it seems that it's still going to clear. So there we go, a brand new modification for the 1525, something I've wanted for a very long time. Hopefully you like it too. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.